This is Addis News Hour, and many thanks for joining us with the news. I'm Shifarao Lako, and do stay with us. The Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta arrived in Addis Ababa yesterday on an official visit. The president was accorded a warm welcome from Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. The two leaders, accompanied by the Ethiopian President Sahle-Work Zewde, also visited the Entoto Park in the afternoon. Quote unquote, "I welcome my dear brother President Uhuru Kenyatta to his second home," wrote Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed on his Facebook page after receiving the president. In another story, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed held phone talks with his Canadian counterpart Justin Trudeau on bilateral issues of mutual concern. The Prime Minister noted that the conversation was productive to enhance cooperation between Ethiopia and Canada. Abiy extended gratitude to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for his government's friendship and support to Ethiopia.
Fossil of our human ancestor, one of the old. Hiking in the Simeon Mountains is a highlight of traveling in Ethiopia.
Kingdoms and empires.
The Grand Renaissance Dam, which is built on the Blue Nile, is set to power a landlocked country.
Welcome back. You're still watching Addis News Hour. Missionaries from the United States of America have proved wrong the deluding reports of the international media outlets, including CNN. The missionaries, who arrived in the tourist city of Ababa via a flight from Addis Ababa, have also witnessed calm and normal daily life in both cities. Goshumel South more.
Since the commencement of the law enforcement operation in Tigray, international media outlets have been spreading false information about the current situation in Ethiopia. The world saw an intensified report from major media outlets on Ethiopia to create tension over the past few weeks. Their reporting to baffle the international community through fabricated stories like the encirclement of Addis Ababa by militants has been disproved by foreign journalists and missionaries who happen to be in the capital city.
We've been working in Ethiopia for 6 years now. We love this country. We love these people. We sent our people in front of us, before us. They came here. They call us that everything is safe here. And we want to tell everyone, you can come. It's safe. And we want to tell to U.S. people, to American people, that everything is peaceful. And it doesn't look the way media says about Ethiopia.
Members of the mission have rather been overwhelmed by the warm and candid welcomes they have been accorded since their arrival in Addis Ababa.
I am Anya Saiva. I'm coming from California, and this is my first time in Ethiopia. First expression and experience is very good. People are very friendly, everything is calm and beautiful. The welcome situation is very nice. I'm very happy to be here and to serve here for 4 days for the Lord and serve you people too. And I'm glad to be here. I like it so far. It's very nice.
They finally urged the whole world not to be deceived by fake reports of the so-called popular media outlets who prioritize their greedy interests than the well-being of people around the world.
Now, following statements from two high-ranking U.S. foreign affairs and military leaders suggesting the possibility of U.S. military assets directly engaging in the conflicts in Ethiopia's Tigray state, the Ethiopian American Civic Council, EACC, released a statement from its chairman and co-founder, Deacon Yosef Tafari. The council said U.S. military force should not be engaged or deployed in the Tigray conflict in Ethiopia's northern region. The Tigray conflict is an internal issue that needs to be addressed only by the Ethiopian people and their democratically elected government. On behalf of Ethiopian Americans, EACC urged the U.S. government to stop the escalation of the situation in Ethiopia. Recent statements suggesting direct intervention are reckless and misguided, considering what occurred in the final days of the 20-year Afghanistan occupation. The EACC doubts that most Americans would even support such an action, the statement indicated.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is beautiful.
Welcome to the city of Bajaj, the double J city, Jijiga.
Now, a Kenyan politician and former parliamentarian Farah Maalim describes the TPLF gang's Trojan horses serving as U.S. agents. Talking to OBN, Farah Maalim, who was a deputy speaker of the Kenyan Council, said the TPLF mafias have been working hard for the geopolitical advantage of Westerners in the Horn region. Habtam Washagre presents the story as follows.
While they were on federal power, the TPLF cliques have been working as an agent of US to secure the geopolitical advantage of US in the Horn region. Talking to Oben, Farah Maalim, who was a former deputy speaker of Kenyan Council, said the TPLF gangs have been actively working to break the regional integration in the Horn region. According to Maalim, the TPLF is expanding its tyrant tactics into other neighboring countries in a bid to create disintegration within African countries.
TPLF has been, for a very long time now, I think since they came to power, the darling of the West, and it's been used against African interests or Pan-African interests in the region. And basically it was a fascist terrorist organization that brutalized the whole of Ethiopia and all the countries in the neighborhood, Eritrea, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan, which is the Sudan Republic. It brutalized literally everybody, and for a very long time, and was the blue-eyed boys of the West, to be more specific, the Americans themselves.
Farah stated the terrorist TPLF has been ruling Ethiopia for 27 years due to its wider acceptance from US. And the US move is a replica of their destructive intervention in the Middle East regions. The US administration has been using TPLF as Trojan horse to realize their agenda to the Horn region, Farah underlined. He stated that TPLF has been orchestrating various atrocities, human rights violations, the killing of innocent civilians, as well as inhuman acts for over 3 decades in Ethiopia. In addition to this, some TPLF-affiliated Western media outlets are showing how some Western governments are pressurizing the government of Ethiopia to become submissive to Western interests in Africa. Farah slams these governments and media.
I have friends who live in Addis. It's more peaceful today. Addis is more peaceful than Nairobi. I worry about when I go out here with my car, whether I'm going to be carjacked or whether I'm going to be... a lot of things happen, and I have to have always a consciousness of the security in there. There's more insecurity in Kampala, in Johannesburg, in Pretoria, in Cape Town than you have in Addis Ababa, my friend. And nobody talks about that. In Lagos, there's more insecurity in Lagos.
Farah Salim calls upon all Ethiopians and Africans to stand in unison to fight any foreign intervention against East Africa's great nation.
Water reservoir is a biosphere's paradise. Hippos, crocodiles, monkeys, and a lot of
expedition. House acidic pools and salt lakes. Here, Rock Pinnacle, Anti-Coup, can only be reached via a steep and sometimes terrifying.
Now, in our continental news, Sudanese security forces has recently killed at least 5 demonstrators in a crackdown on anti-coup protests after the military tightened its grip by forming a new ruling council. The pro-democracy protests come nearly 3 weeks after top General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan ousted the government, detained the civilian leadership, and declared a state of emergency. The Independent Central Committee for Sudanese Doctors said 3 of the deceased were killed in East Khartoum and 2 in Khartoum's twin city of Omdurman. A large number of people were also wounded by live rounds, according to medics. Security forces went to one hospital in Omdurman and detained several of the wounded. The latest deaths bring to 20 the number of people killed in anti-coup protests since the military takeover on October 25, according to the medics. And finally, after 2 weeks of hard negotiations with governments squabbling over provisions on phasing out coal, cutting greenhouse gas emissions, and providing money to the poor world, the annual Climate Change Summit came to an end on Saturday night with the adoption of a weaker than expected agreement called the Glasgow Climate Pact. While most countries insisted that the agreement was an important step in keeping alive the hopes of achieving the 1.5 degrees Celsius temperature goal, observers and civil society groups saw it as a missed opportunity to enhance global climate action. The Glasgow meeting was the 26th session of the Conference of Parties to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, or COP26. The main task for COP26 was to finalize the rules and procedures for implementation of the Paris Agreement. And now a quick reminder of the top stories. President Uhuru Kenyatta pays a visit to Ethiopia. And missionaries urge the world not to be deluded by fake news from international media houses about